stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that Ink and Honor interview, last I checked years ago, it was like millions of views, I think, or something.
Yep.
It's not like 2 million right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is insane, you know. It's just, I mean, there were, you know, there's like Mitch as well, you know, was one of those, and you know, there was others as well. I've always been kind of a person who it's, you know, whether or not it's been good or bad, I deal in extremes. If I do something, I go all the way. I don't ever, you know. It's hurt. Like I said, it's been good and bad, right? I go fully extreme to something. I commit all the way. I do it. And, you know, for me, it was like stretching my ears, right? Or getting tattooed. I wanted to be as covered and not so much to like more than someone else, but just to be as much as I can for me. Like the biggest reason I hated, or the biggest reason I got tattooed back in the day, right, was because I hated how skinny I was. I hated my body. I hated seeing it. I didn't like seeing myself. So I covered myself with tattoos because it made me like myself more, right? And then through doing that, I think, you know, because I mean, tattoo culture has always been there. Like, there's people with suits way before I ever did, but like maybe not in our scene as much, I guess. I don't know. I mean, a lot of the old school hardcore heads like were covered, you know, but I think they just might not have done as many things showcasing it or interviews about it. Whereas the younger generations, who are now the older generations, which is funny, got exposed to it really easily. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's kind of what helped it. You know, I definitely, you know, I've had people come up to me quite a lot actually and been like, you know, I remember your Ink and Honor interview and that's why I decided to get covered, or you and Mitch, you know, you guys having so many tattoos and stuff, it made me want to be like that. You know, I've had singers of other bands tell me that they were inspired by, you know, either Mitch or myself or which is incredible. And, you know, it's just one of those things. It's kind of weird to sit back and hear it and like accept it, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I still feel like I'm just a dorky, normal, run of the mill guy. Like, you know, I'm you know, it's like my band knows me as just a fucking dork who says stupid shit all the time and laughs all the time, you know? But to these other people, they're like, oh, I want to look like him or be like him. And I'm like, if you only knew the real me, you probably wouldn't, you know, you'd be like, oh, that guy's a fucking dork, man, you know? You know, like we're fully covered in tattoos. We have tattoos on our faces. Like, you know, it's getting there, but it's still not the norm, you know? Yeah. I still see comments all the time of people being like, oh, good luck getting a job with those tattoos, blah, blah, blah. You know, good luck doing this. Little do they know, I guarantee you, most people who are like us, covered in tattoos or whatever, own our own businesses, are successful as hell, have careers, do this and that. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. And back then, the ears being so taboo, right? Everybody had them to a degree, but not everybody had them at that size. You know, and that's the whole thing. And that's what helped, I think, my band back then, my old band, stand out, you know, essentially. You know, there are people who are saying we're overrated all the time, which, you know, whatever, who knows, right? But the image at the time was the first selling point, then the music behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to be put on a level or compared to some of these people that you're mentioning, because those are the people that, like, when we were doing stuff, when Suffokate was doing stuff, I never was in the moment. I didn't understand it or see what it was in the moment or appreciate what it was in the moment. I was always chasing that next, no, we need to do this. Oh, they're doing that. We need to do that too. We need to go on this. We're not big enough. We're not big enough. We're not known. We're not blah, blah. And hindsight, looking back now, I'm like, dude, we toured Russia. Like, we headlined in Europe. Like, we went to Europe so many times. You know what I mean? To where it's like I understand why people would put me on the same, I guess, like on the same, you know, in the same conversations with Mitch or some of these other people, right? But to me, I still feel like less than that, because those were icons to me, I guess. And like, you know, when you talk to people, when you talk about it, I mean, like, everybody's first go-to is obviously Mitch, because he was the GOAT.
Yeah.
Right?
Still is to me.
Still
so,
is,
yeah.
man. No one will ever put on a better show.
I don't think.
No one will ever. I mean, not to say that people aren't great, but no one's going to capture that like Mitch did. No one ever will. It's not possible. And the fact of the way he passed away makes that not possible also. You know what I mean? So it's like, I do appreciate when people say that. And I feel very fortunate that I'm even considered one of those or an OG, as people say, but I don't know if I'll ever really accept it or see it because it's just, you know what I mean? So it means a lot. And I do accept, I appreciate it, but like I'm still in that always chasing, trying to get to the next. Like I want to do that. I want to play there. I want to, so